Hi, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Online Brand Guidelines Best Practices. My name's John Ryan. I'm VP of Marketing at IntelligenceBank. And joining me today is Jade Porter, IntelligenceBank's Product Success Manager, who will be taking you through today's demonstration. Today's agenda, we'll be discussing online brand guidelines. We're going to cover why you should take your brand guidelines online if you haven't already. We'll share our best practices for doing so and give you a demonstration of those best practices. And then we'll end with time for questions. Now, we all know this, but your company's brand is one of its most important assets. Brand awareness and brand trust are key factors when it comes to customer buying decisions. They give your customers comfort by reducing the risk of going with the unknown. And the power of branding can streamline decision-making, increasing leads and sales and adding value to your company. However, to develop trust in brand, customers need an experience that is both recognizable and consistent. And that's why we have brand guidelines, sometimes referred to as style guides. Your brand guidelines are a rulebook containing specifications on everything that plays a role in the look and feel of your brand. Brand guidelines help you ensure brand consistency when you have numerous departments or agencies that are producing branded assets. They capture your company's identity and personality, explaining everything about how to use your logos, typography, colors, imagery, and it lets everyone know exactly how to present your brand to the world. Now, traditionally, organizations have used PDFs as the medium for sharing their brand guidelines. And in 2022, everyone is moving to online brand guidelines now. Going online has so many benefits. PDFs are static, while online can be interactive. PDFs go out of date, online updates instantly, ensuring everyone is always using the latest guides. PDF guidelines are also often 50 to 100 pages long, while online you can empower people to self-serve, helping people find what they need faster. PDFs are not personalized experience. Online, you can cater to the many different types of audience journeys, including your creatives, internal staff, web designers, agencies, and sub-brands. And PDFs have zero governance. How can you be sure anyone's using them or using the most up-to-date version? So moving your guidelines online is a key step towards better brand compliance. Now at IntelligenceBank, we're marketers who make software for marketers, including digital asset management, online brand hub, and marketing operations. And these are our best practices for online brand guidelines. So best practice number one, make your brand guidelines interactive. Start with the basics that were in your PDF brand guidelines, then bring that content to life by making them interactive and more useful. So the most common brand guideline basics include your brand story, your logo, your color palettes, fonts, imagery, and brand voice. So let's start here and see how we can make these more interactive. Starting with your brand story. So every great brand is driven by a compelling story. A good brand story defines and describes the things that your company cares most about. It's used to communicate your company's vision, mission, values to internal staff, as well as remote agencies and to the public. And it can help guide major decision-making within an organization. So online brand guidelines give you the opportunity to include more interactive information about your brand story. You could add videos, perhaps a message from the CEO, and you could use sub-pages to help people find more in-depth information, perhaps a timeline of your company's big milestones, so that they can really understand the essence of what your brand is about. Company logos are one of the most used parts of any guidelines. And your logo is really the one thing that everyone should immediately recognize as belonging to your company and only your company. Logos come in many different sizes and layouts: horizontal, vertical, square, icon only. They can come in color or white only or black and white. And they can come in different file types, commonly JPEGs, PNGs, and ESP files. So with all these variations, we want to help designers find the right logo for their needs quickly. So rather than zipping all of the logos together, we recommend that you allow users to download the logo directly from the image. Ensure they're downloading the right logo, the right size, the right file type. It's a faster, more elegant solution. We recommend your logo pages include a section on how to use and how not to use your logo, including visual examples for stretching, backgrounds, and padding. If you don't have these variations firmly displayed in your guides, somebody may remove an important tagline or change the color or size so that the logo is no longer on brand. Brand color is another very commonly accessed area of the guidelines. Typically includes primary colors, which may be the colors from your logo being applied to things such as headings and call to actions. Your secondary colors, commonly used in graphics and different subheadings, and background colors, which are important to choose for contrast. So what's essential here is that you include the different color codes, including hex, RGB, and CMYK, so designers, marketers, and web developers can quickly copy and paste those codes into their applications. Online brand guidelines enables fonts to be conveniently downloaded too. And we recommend that you showcase exactly what the alphabet looks like. It's best practice to specify font weights, correct sizing, font colors, line heights, specifically highlighting common use cases such as headings and paragraphs. And if the font family is a premium, it's good to showcase the web alternative too. Imagery plays a big role in defining a brand. So is your brand fun and funky, or is it more subdued and professional? You want your guidelines to include examples of the types of images your brand uses and the types of images that your brand should avoid. Imagery helps set your brand's voice and tone. We recommend you describe if your brand images have any lighting styles or color tones, if you use real people in photos, and is diversity important. And we recommend you let designers know if it's okay to use stock photography. Plus, online allows access for other rich media file types too, such as video, audio, moving GIFs, which play a big role in today's branding and are not compatible with PDFs. With IntelligenceBank, we can link asset folders to your digital asset management platform, so you can enable access to all brand-approved images. Brand voice, like imagery, can strongly affect how your audience feels about your brand. Best practice here is if you have messaging that works well for you, show these in examples. Build on personality. List 4 or 5 adjectives that describes your personality and is on brand. Do's and don'ts can be very useful, so pick the words that you like and don't like to clearly demonstrate what your brand voice is. And email signatures. These are not a standard in most brand guidelines, but they should be. Email is one of the most common communication mediums, and I've seen companies really struggle with inconsistent footers. Usually that's because they're completely missing from their guidelines. People tend to copy and paste from other footers, and that doesn't always work out very well, and it can be a massive job getting everybody's footer consistent. So we recommend adding email signatures to your brand guidelines. Give staff a link that they can go to, allowing them to copy the exact information they need to use the correct footer, as well as instructions on exactly how to add that footer into their email platform. And since you're doing this online, you could even include a how-to video for those that are less technical. So with everything we've just shown you, there are examples of how you can take the common elements that were in PDF brand guidelines and make them more interactive. Best practice number 2, don't forget your company's user interface elements, often referred to as UI. Web designers and developers, they don't want to work out of PDF pages. And traditionally, brand guidelines have completely ignored their needs anyway, which is crazy because your website is actually the face of your brand. So online brand guidelines are perfect for communicating UI elements and can include forms, which are your primary source of data collection, the buttons, icons, loaders, grids can be helpful, and web fonts are super important. A good web font makes your content easier to read, and it's important to always remember that not all fonts are supported in all digital environments. So please help your developers by specifying which fonts are safe to display when primary font is not supported. Your online brand guides could enable developers to copy and paste the code straight into other platforms too. So tying it all together, UI elements heavily impact the visual digital experience of your brand and are applicable for web pages, emails, and many other digital campaigns. So don't forget the UI elements and make life easier for developers and ensure better brand consistency online. Best practice 3, be partner friendly. Partnering with other businesses is very common in most industries. So therefore, it's really important your brand guidelines include clear instructions for co-branding. Now, we recommend that you keep this information in a separate section so it can be really easy to share with your partners. Best practice number 4, showcase your best practice. If you want creatives to always be on brand, show them examples of exactly what on brand means. This best practice is where connecting your online brand guidelines to your digital asset management platform becomes really important. What you see here is an example of a widget that can link to the digital asset management platform, the DAM. And because we've linked, this gallery will update as new images are added to that image folder in the DAM. So you can see here, digital asset management and brand portals are a match made in heaven. Another way to showcase your best practice to relevant users is to broadcast it. And in IntelligenceBank, we call this brand news. It's a nice, simple way of letting the people who care most stay up to date with the latest brand news. And you can link these broadcasts straight back to your brand guidelines if needed. Best practice number 5, make finding and sharing assets easy. No more flipping through 50-page PDF documents. Just find what you are looking for, either by using well-structured navigations or just search for what you're looking for. Search is a great way to find what you need faster. And I personally find it's a great inspiration for finding other matches that may give you ideas. Downloading assets can be simplified by empowering users to choose the file type and compression that they want from the image. With IntelligenceBank, we can enable what's called presets, which will convert any image to specific dimensions and file types. So presets are perfect for optimizing images for social media, websites, and other templates that you may have already set up. Online brand guidelines are really powerful when it comes to sharing assets to different people and different environments. So with IntelligenceBank, you can share assets with people or groups via email, or you can set up internal links, which makes images accessible only to registered users, as well as public links, which makes the assets accessible to non-registered users. We also have a CDN links, which are perfect for embedding images into web platforms, such as websites. So rather than uploading an image into your website builder, and then uploading that image again if you have a slight change to it, what you could do is just link the image to your DAM, and when the image is updated in your DAM, it will instantly update in your website too. So it's a great way to ensure everything is always brand approved. So you can see here, marrying brand guidelines to digital asset management platforms, it's really a foundation for being able to control brand compliance. Best practice number 6, set up brand approved creative templates. So brand approved templates are the perfect way to automate localizing any brand content, including advertisements, brochures, banners, social media, business cards, pretty much anything that's needed for staff or teams, especially the ones that work in satellite offices, branches, and franchises. So brand approved templates, they're a template that allows some elements to be modified, perhaps some of the text or the address or a specific image, while completely locking down other elements such as logos, layouts, fonts, key messages. Brand approved templates make life easier for everyone using automation, while also ensuring that work is always brand compliant by locking down all the elements of your guidelines. Best practice number 7, automate your brand requests via FAQs and online forms. So marketers love this best practice because this saves their inbox from common requests. And it allows marketers and designers to track and prioritize requests and briefs too. Everyone else loves it because they can submit a request knowing that's in the system and not lost in somebody's inbox. So there are a few ways we can automate brand requests. One way is via a help center with FAQs or frequently asked questions, which empower people to self-serve to find the answers to the questions they have. We also recommend a form allowing people to directly lodge a query to ask the marketing team different types of questions. We have lots of clients who have set up brand requests to download assets too. So rather than just allowing people to download assets directly from your online brand guidelines, they can apply to have permissions to do so. So fill in a form, and when that's accepted, they will then get access to the files. And this can work fantastic, particularly for managing external agencies. You could also set up your brand hub to allow people to submit creative briefs, allowing people to specifically request different types of work. So creative briefs capture all of the information required to start and finish a specific request project. And drafts can be linked back so people know, are able to review that work in the project. Best practice number 8, prioritize the journey for different users. So personalize the journey for different users. What we're going to do here is we're going to show you a few customer examples to demonstrate this one. So online brand guidelines allow you to create different experiences for different users, including staff, agencies, and your partners. And this is an example of how NAB have set up their user journeys. So they have an experience set up for first timers. They know agencies need more information for understanding the brand and the strategy, while colleagues' experience is more transactional and educational. And they prioritize the journey for each of the different users. Larger enterprises that own multiple brands can also personalize their brand guidelines to manage all of their sub-brands too, creating a personalized experience for each brand. So here you can see ANZ have master brand guidelines, internal brand guidelines, and guidelines for their other brands and sub-brands. So personalization is powerful. We recommend you really think about who your different audiences are and cater to their needs. Best practice 9, governance matters. The purpose of brand guidelines is to improve brand compliance. So you want to make sure that you are controlling who has access to your guidelines, both internally and externally, controlling which users can access different assets, and controlling functionality permissions for different users. And finally, best practice number 10, track your brand. Everything done online can be tracked, which means you can report on it. Some very interesting reports we suggest you track include user and groups, so seeing who's logging in and viewing your guidelines, tracking content, so which assets are being downloaded and what are your top brand pages, how many assets you have and how often those assets are being accessed, and especially which ones may be due to expire soon. And at IntelligenceBank, we're fantastic for managing talent usage rights, so your business can stay legal compliant as well as brand compliant. And with our marketing operations platform, you can even track all of your campaigns, briefs to better manage your projects. So by carefully tracking everything back to your brand hub, you can start to measure the ROI of your assets. So that's our 10 best practices for online brand guidelines. I'm going to hand over now to Jade, who's going to take you through what these best practices look like on a live brand hub demonstration within IntelligenceBank. So over to you, Jade.
Thanks, John. So now that we've learned our brand guidelines, best practices, let's see how IntelligenceBank can help you achieve them. IntelligenceBank, as we've heard, has a DAM or a digital asset management platform. We have our brand hub, which is those brand guidelines to bring that brand to life. And we've got the marketing operations software. And that again allows us to have that full end-to-end efficiency and compliance for marketing operations. Now we're going to focus today on the brand hub and we're going to open that up now. So what you're seeing on the screen today is one template example of how you could bring your PDF online. As you can see on the left-hand side, we've got the navigation, which will allow your users to get exactly where they need and come here and know what they want. I know I need to know about logos, so I can click logos and find the information I need. Now, as you can see here, we've got the download icon, which allows your team members to get exactly what they need when they need it. We also then have all of the information available. So again, bringing that PDF here, allowing our team members to see how to use things, ensuring we can see the spacing and clear space, as well as the different styles. In here, we've got that really powerful option of allowing these teams to get the exact asset file type they need as well. So I might need an RGB or I might need a .eps. Either of those are available right now for me. As we saw earlier, we also have our don'ts. So again, showing live and interactively what not to do. I'm sure we've all seen a stretch logo that we didn't like before. Now, as we can see, we have colors. So we heard about some other best practice pages. Again, we've got our colors here, and our designers can come straight in here and get the exact thing they need. Do I need a hex code, an RGB, or a CYMK? Over here, we've got our fonts. So maybe our team members aren't really sure what font to use, or maybe they don't even have the font installed in their computer. No problem. They can come here and find out what's the right font for their use case and even download that font directly. Now, again, with our designers or even our digital agencies, they need to know your UI elements. We've got websites and so many other digital assets that need to be made and used. So again, things like our web fonts, how to use them. We've got our dot points and buttons, even hover. In a PDF, you can't see that hover, but online you can. So this is one example of a template that you could use. Another option, again, as we said, is being able to create your own. So we've got many templates for you that you could look at, or we can work together to create your own. Now, what happens if your team members can't find what they're looking for? Again, no problem. We can come up here and find some help. We can put things like our frequently asked questions and allow them to link out to things. We can also create videos. So it might be a video on how to do something, or it might be a best practice video so that your team members can watch what you expect video content to look like. Now, if they still can't find what they're looking for, they can ask the brand team directly. And when we do that, we can now fill out a form and ask for what we want. This could lead us directly to an option to download something and help them navigate through the platform, or it could go to a team member and ask them to actually help us get this. Maybe it's not on the brand guidelines yet, but it's a frequently asked thing, so let's create a new brand page. In our example, we can't see a logo for a partner. No problem, we tell them what we need. We tell them it's a logo request. And when I submit it, it can go to the right team member at the right time. From here, it's all in one area and your team member can get their answer in a nice, easy way. So now we've seen our brand pages and we've seen where our users need to go to be able to get help. Now, what if they need an image? So this is where our DAM becomes our best friend with our brand guidelines. And we can come into our DAM and find our images that are already pre-approved content from the marketing team. So we can ensure your team members are only getting what you allow them to. In my case, I might be looking for a girl. So now all the assets that have been approved are here in front of me. And I might even get some inspiration to use an asset that I didn't know existed. I'm sure we all have a few of those images that may be overused in our communications. No problem now, because some of your team members can see assets they didn't know existed. Now I know the image I want, I might want to email it to a colleague. I can simply click here, get my emailed link, and send it directly to my internal staff. Or I can send it externally to our partners, our agencies, or even media outlets. And inside here, we can even say they've only got 72 hours to download this content before you lose access to it. So again, you've got that layers of permissions and protection for your brand assets. Now, I may not want to email, I may want to actually share it, so embed that content. If I want to do that, I can come here and click share and embed. And now this is where we heard from John about those links. So we can get an internal link for internal staff. We can get a public link, which allows us to copy that CDN link and paste it where we need it. If we paste that onto our website, then that now has a direct link to our DAM. And when you update the content on the DAM, it'll automatically update on your website. Inside here, we can also get social media links, and we can add those presets we heard about to make sure that what we need is exactly the file size and dimension we need. We might also want an embed code. So again, we might need code to paste somewhere. So all we'll need to do is again, decide if we need a preset or not. Decide our text, copy the code and paste it. And now that is linked to your DAM. Okay, so another way we can share this is to download it. So if we actually need to download it, we simply click the download icon. And this is where we get transformations. So again, I'm sure we've seen something where someone's put an image that was too small of a resolution and should never have been pasted there. Well, we can help with those presets. And if we know what we want, a LinkedIn hero image, we now have a better understanding of what that actually is. If there's not a preset available, then again, your team member can come in and go, I need a JPEG, I need a certain compression type and size, and then download it for that exact use case, and we know it'll suit it. One of the best things about this, again, is you don't need to upload 100 different assets that are slightly different size or slightly different in file type, etc. Our transformations allow you to upload the highest quality asset and download it for the exact use case you need. All right, so that's how we can share and that's how we can download. Now, what if we have a templated asset where we need to make something and just slightly change it? We can come into our creative templates here, and our brand team can create standardized content that is locked down and protected, and your team members can just update what you allow them to. So if I needed a digital banner, this is my lockdown template, and I can pop my text here. That's what I'm allowing. If I need a print advertisement, I scroll down, pick which one I want, open up my custom templates. And then inside here now, I can decide which exact one I want, open up my editor, start a new job, and I'm ready to go. Now, IntelligenceBank has a really cool thing called dynamic data mapping. This allows you to lock those templates down even more to protect your brand. So I can come in and decide who I am. So I'm a city branch and I'm actually looking for a new car flyer. I simply click continue, and now my pre-approved template will be created and my team member can simply edit it. So they come in and you might allow them to edit things like an interest rate. So in here, 5, they've actually got a 7% interest rate. Now you can see the city branch and the contacts being locked down because that's something we selected earlier. And we can see that car image is again what we already selected. So it's locked down. Now you might decide to let them change a logo or text. But if not, you can simply lock that down and they may only be able to change that 7, that interest rate. Once they're done, they simply finish it and they've got an asset that is completely brand approved with only small edits you allow, and they can send it off for print or use it how they require. Now, how does IntelligenceBank do this? We've heard a lot about protecting your brand, and we've heard a lot about being able to stop your users from doing things they can't. Well, IntelligenceBank has a powerful area of the platform called groups and permissions. And when we come in here, we're allowed to set specific actions for our team members. So we can say whether or not they're allowed to access the DAM. If so, are they allowed to upload content to it or just view and download? We can come in here with our custom pages and go, which brand pages should my team see? And inside here, with those personalized journeys, we can say which page the agencies can see. So they can only see these 3, whereas our internal team members can see all of them. So this is that powerful way IntelligenceBank makes sure that they only see what they can see and only do what you allow them to do. Now we know how powerful we can protect our brand. We also want to know how to track it. So again, inside the platform, you have some availability of checking on things like your usage analytics. So who's coming to your platform? Who's your top logging in team member? And what's your top content? What's being downloaded the most? Or which brand page is most popular? For us, it's our UI elements, and our designers love that page. We also have the option to get data reports. So we can create customized data where you see what you want to see, like things like what's been uploaded in the last 7 days. And you come in here and put your conditions, your columns, and simply run the report and get the data you need. So what we've heard today is we've got templates, and those templates you can use or create. We've got the ability to share content, protect our data, and see our data. Thanks, John.
Jade just gave us a tour of IntelligenceBank, highlighting the best practices we covered today, demonstrating a lot of things. So how to make it interactive, the UI elements, being partner-friendly, showcasing best practice, finding and sharing assets, brand-approved templates, brand requests, personalized journey, governance, and track your brand. So I wanted to finish by leaving you with 2 thoughts. The first is to remember that brands evolve. Your brand style guide is a living, breathing guide. You will end up learning what works as you use it, and you can add to it or adjust the information at any time. What's most important is that you set a very solid foundation when you create one, and you want to revisit it periodically. And the second thought is to think automation. You want to use your brand portal as a way to empower people while saving yourselves the time and hassle of continuously sending that same logo 50 times a week. So you want to help people understand the brand and shepherd them on how to do the right thing. But what you, the marketers, what you don't want to be doing is saying no all the time. And that's one of the best things about online brand guidelines. As our CEO and founder, Tessa Court, eloquently puts it, nobody wants to be the brand police. So are you ready to create online brand guidelines? If you would like a personalized demonstration of anything we showed you today, we'd be happy to assist. You can arrange that either by contacting your IntelligenceBank account manager, or if you are new to IntelligenceBank, you can message us via sales@intelligencebank.com or complete one of the forms on our website. And if you are an existing customer, we're happy to book a refresh review to show you some examples of other customer templates that you may want to use. And if you are interested in IntelligenceBank, we are always keen to show you a personalized demonstration. So that brings us to the end of our presentation. I'd like to thank everyone who joined us today. We really do hope you found it helpful and educational, and that you can take some of these best practices and start using them today, no matter what system you use. And from everyone at IntelligenceBank, we wish you all the best on your brand guidelines journey.